If you truly want to experience the real power when it comes to the practice of semen retention, you got to understand that retaining your seed, retaining your life force, and retaining your masculine essence is only step one. Let me say that again. Retaining your seed, retaining your life force, and retaining your masculine essence is simply just step one to this overall process. So without further ado, let's break this bitch down real quick like a brick for y'all. Now, when you realize that semen retention isn't only about retaining your semen, you're gonna understand that there is far more to this practice than what meets the surface level. Because just harnessing that sexual energy and harnessing your masculine essence is the base layer or the base foundation to actually get things started. Without that sexual energy being harnessed and cultivated, you're not going to be able to see the true power of this practice. But at the end of the day, that's just to get the ball rolling. That's just to get to step one. That's just the first door you unlock. Because a lot of men out there, if we want to be honest, are spilling their seed on a day-to-day basis, maybe on an hour-to-hour basis, maybe on a minute-to-minute basis. Let's not get too deep with it, but a lot of people out there do not, first of all, value their own sexual energy, and they just allow it to just be expelled in the most pleasurable and most lowest nature form possible. So in reality, if you actually use it to your advantage, if you actually leverage lust to your advantage, leverage those sexual urges to your advantage and start cultivating it, then you're going to be able to get on to the real powers and real abilities of this practice. So if you're at that step where you're kind of getting into the ability to retain your seed for a good amount of period of time, this is the next step you need to take, which is of course sexual transmutation. And there's different ways to transmute this energy and different outlets you must transmute this energy, but at the end of the day, that is the next step. So for the guys out there that think, okay, I'm on day 30, I'm on day 40, I'm on day 50, who cares what day you're on really at the end of the whole process? Because if you're not transmuting that energy properly, you're not really seeing what this practice is all about. Matter of fact, the term semen retention is kind of counterintuitive to the overall broad perspective of what this practice is really about. It's not just about retaining your seed. It's about using that sexual energy towards higher pursuits. Because energy will always flow up or down, and it takes less energy or less force or less input to make it flow down. So that energy in your lower nature or your lower regions or your lower chakras is always going to flow downwards, which is going to be expelled in that sexual manner. But if you take that sexual energy and put more input and put more work and put more energy and effort to it to be raised up, then you're going to be able to see, okay, man, it's helping me create more willpower. Oh man, it's helping me create more universal love. I'm connecting more to my spiritual side. Oh man, it's helping me be creative and express my abilities and express my gifts out to the world. Oh man, it's helping me tap into my higher self or intuitive capabilities. Oh man, it's helping me stay in a very calm, peaceful, and just overall non-dual state of reality. That's what happens when you actually raise it up. And there's different practices, different techniques, and different tips to help raise it up that I broke down all in depth and all in detail within the Semen Retention Guide, as well as the Art of Retention ebook. If you guys haven't got that yet, make sure you go run it up after this because it is totally free. All you got to do is search up how to succeed on semen retention. You'll find it on the main channel, Fulati Fitness. Watch the whole guide, get the free ebook. And if you don't want to read the free ebook, I got you with a whole audio series on the main channel. Just go check out the playlist on Fulati Fitness. You'll see the Art of Retention ebook audio series. So plug that in, get that info, and then you'll realize, okay, man, I need to transmute it not only on the mental plane, but also on the physical plane. Not only on the physical plane, but also on the spiritual plane. Not only on the spiritual plane, but also on the mental plane. You need to transmute this energy on all levels, on all facets, if you truly want to see the actual power of this practice come into play. If you want to see it actually awaken, if you want to see all those benefits that I speak about, if you want to truly experience all those things, you got to do the right things to get to that point. Like, let's make this analogy with the gym. If the first step is just to go to the gym, that's literally step one. If you don't go to the gym and you haven't been going to the gym for X amount of years and you want to get in shape, you want to build muscle, the first step is to be able to first step foot into a gym, step foot into a calisthenics park, step foot into whatever it is that you're trying to get your workouts in. That's just step one. That is, when it comes to semen retention, just retaining your seed. That's just step one. But the next step when it comes to the gym is to, my bad, my dog just coughed or whatever. Is to set up a workout plan, set up a system to actually be able to progress in the gym. Then the next step is getting your nutrition in line. The next step is getting your recovery in line. You need to do all those things. You need to have the progressive overload. You need to have your nutrition dialed in, and you need to have your recovery dialed in. Because just going to the gym, if you don't have those things in place, it will plateau at a certain point. Yes, even if you don't have a proper workout routine, yes, if you don't even have a proper nutrition plan, or you don't have a good recovery plan, in the beginning, you'll get some benefits. Like if you just hop on semen retention after being addicted to porn or just promiscuity, just chasing women all the time, you're gonna see the benefits, but it's gonna plateau. It's gonna plateau after day 20, after day 30, after day 40. It doesn't matter what day it is, but at the end of the day, it's going to plateau because you're only on step one. You haven't graduated to the next level because first of all, you don't know about it. Maybe you just have a lack of information, which right now you won't have the lack of information anymore because you tapped into this channel, you tapped into the full guide in the main channel, and you've been tapping into the ebook that will get everything for you in a practical manner. But it's either you don't have a lack of information, or it's the fact that you don't realize that semen retention is not the end all be all. Retaining your semen is not the end goal of this practice. No one really cares about hoarding in their sexual energy if it doesn't actually sublimate and transmute into a higher source of fuel for bigger and better goals. That's the whole point of this practice. Tap into higher states of your mind, body, and soul. Just retaining your semen is not going to get you to that point. Yes, it'll give you those small surface level benefits in the beginning, but if you plateau at that point, then you're going to realize, oh man, it's not that big of a deal. It's not really that powerful of a practice, when in reality, you didn't put the proper systems and practices in place to keep it moving forward and keep elevating to the next stages and next steps along this practice. And again, same thing with the gym. Let's say you go for 2 months, 3 months without a workout plan, without nutrition, without a good recovery. You're gonna build some muscle, you're gonna build some strength because you're a newbie. But at the end of the day, when the newbie gains end and you need to actually dial in and get the actual systems in place, then you're gonna realize, oh man, like, is working out even that worth it? Is it really even that beneficial? Is it really even that powerful? Your own perspective will warp the reality of the practice in itself. And same things will happen to semen retention if you don't realize that just retaining your seed is step one, is only the base level, is ground zero. You're just getting started. You just got into the game. You literally just got off the bench and you got plugged into the game, and you think that's the end all be all. No man, you want to get some buckets, you want to score some touchdowns, you want to get into the game, into the flow of the game, and actually win the game, and actually succeed, and actually become victorious, and actually be able to accumulate all the benefits that come to this whole practice. So get this whole idea of even the words semen retention out of your mind. If that's really making you think that this is the end goal, let's change the whole name of the fucking practice. Name it sexual transmutation. That's it. You're sexually transmuting that energy. That's what we're trying to aim towards. But yes, again, retaining your seed, retaining your life force, and retaining your masculine essence is a part of the journey. If you're spilling that away, if you're wasting it away, how are you going to be able to transmute that sexual energy? It's not there. It's not there at all. How are you gonna get your workout plan in and your nutrition dialed in and your recovery dialed in when you don't even have a place to work out? Like, these are things that you gotta realize, and you gotta connect the dots on when it comes to anything in life. But when it comes to semen retention, and if you really want to see the real powers of this practice, this has to be getting into your head and marinating and actually letting it sit in to understand that, oh man, I just been thinking that if I just retain my seed for X amount of time, I'll get all these benefits. When in reality, you're not even gonna get to a longer streak if you don't have those practices in place, but also you're gonna plateau and none of these real benefits are gonna be prominent to you because you're not transmuting the energy. You're not actually putting it towards a goal. You're not actually using certain practices like pranayama, creative outlets, working out, this and that will actually allow you to express the sexual energy in much more productive manners than just wanking into pixels on the screen or just chasing some women. That's what we're really trying to get at, all right? So if you're picking up what I'm putting down, you got to realize that, okay, let's set aside this whole concept of semen retention and let's focus more on how I can use the sexual energy to my advantage, leverage quote unquote lust to my advantage. Because at the end of the day, this is just energy. If you think these sexual urges are bad, you're not going to realize that this is just energy that I can be using towards higher pursuits. But I've been so trained and so programmed to get those sexual urges triggered by my brain and be like, okay, now I need to express it in this way by just spilling out my seed. When in reality, you can reprogram your mind and retrain your mind to connect those sexual urges to a creative outlet, to working out, to some type of pranayama. You can use that same trigger of having sexual urges, that sexual energy building up, because that's what it is. That sexual energy is building up. It needs to be expressed in some way or form. So that urge is being sent from your body up to your brain, and your brain's gonna be like, okay, whoa, relax. And that signal from your body to your brain is gonna signal, okay, man, we need to do X, Y, Z. We need to do this. We need to do that to get rid or express this energy being built up. That's what it is at the end of the day. It's not just some random thing happening. So you have to realize that, okay, if I really want to see the power, the real powers and benefits of this practice, that I have to retrain and rewire my mind to make those sexual urges or those sexual triggers into forms of transmutation, forms of not just restraining myself and holding my seed in and holding my life force energy in and just letting that energy build up to the point where I'm literally about to explode, but actually taking that energy, expressing it in a higher way. So I talked about there's two different ways to go about this practice. You're either gonna sexually repress yourself or you're gonna learn how to sexually transmutate that energy. Let me say that again. You're either gonna sexually repress that energy or you're gonna learn how to sexually transmutate that energy. That's gonna determine your success on this path. That's gonna determine what you think about this practice in general, because if you're sexually repressing your energy, guess what? You're gonna think that this is bullshit. You're gonna think that this is harmful. You're gonna think that this is not worth it, and it's all like placebo. It's all nonsense. People on YouTube are just chatting shit for clicks and views. Or you're gonna go about it the right way, actually implement those practices that I talk about in the ebook, in the guide, in my one-on-one coaching packages, in my consultation calls. If you guys want to tap into that, make sure you go check out the links posted in the pinned comment of this video. We got one-on-one consultations, coaching packages, as well as a private Patreon community that's got access to exclusive videos, full guides, in-depth occult lectures, monthly masterminds, and much more. If you want to help support your boy and get up on some game, make sure you go check those out. But you're gonna take those pieces of information to actually sexually transmutate your energy, and then you're gonna be like, oh man, no, I understand what these guys are saying when it comes to the power of semen retention. I understand the benefits of this practice. I understand all these experiences that they speak about, because I'm doing the right things to get to that point. And let's go back to the analogy with the gym. If you're that guy that's just going to the gym with no plan, no focus, you're just doing whatever you think that you want to do, and those newbie gains are gone, you're going to plateau and not make any type of progress. You're not going to make any strength gains. You're not going to be making any muscle gains. You're not going to be making any physique gains at all. So you're going to look at other people and be like, hey man, like this guy's on steroids. Like, how the fuck is he getting big? How the fuck is he getting stronger? He's talking nonsense. There's no way you can get stronger than after the first 3 months, 4 months of training. That's bullshit. I've been in the gym for X amount of years and I'm still not bigger than that. When in reality, you didn't put the right proper practices in place. You don't have the right systems of workout plans, of programs, of your nutrition, of your recovery, all that stuff, man. You didn't have that in place, and now your perspective is warped, thinking that everyone else is bigger than you is on steroids. Everyone else that's doing better than you is cheating in some way or form. Everyone else that is doing better than you is lying, is not saying the truth. They're just making working out a placebo. It's you. It's your own decisions and your own choices that shape that reality, that mold that picture, that mental picture that enforces back into your brain about your reality. So if you take the same analogy and plug it in for semen retention, you're gonna realize, okay, man, I'm on this path because I want to see the true powers of this practice. I'm not here for just the surface level benefits of energy, of a little bit of mental clarity, of quote unquote female attraction, all that stuff. I want to get into the higher aspects of this practice, the deeper aspects of this practice. I want my focus to be razor sharp. I want my creative abilities to come to life. I want my spiritual connection to keep growing. I want my physical prowess to not just be, oh, I have muscles and stuff like that, but that vital energy that makes you feel like the most masculine you've ever been, most stoic you've ever been. I want to feel that. I want to tap into that so I can use these as tools towards a higher pursuit, my own spiritual mission. Whether that's building up my business, whether that's building up my body, whether that's pursuing my career path, whether that's inventing something, it does not matter. You're going to use all these benefits and all these different aspects of semen retention that you accumulate when you actually do it right towards a much bigger pursuit. Because remember, at the end of the day, semen retention is not the goal. It's a tool to use towards your higher pursuits in life, towards your ultimate purpose in life, towards mastering your mind, body, and soul, so you can use those different elements of life to become the best version of yourself and produce the best quality of whatever it is that you're brought here to produce. You dig what I'm saying? It's not, okay, if I get on semen retention, all my life problems will go away. No, it's going to give you the tools to help solve them. It's going to give you the abilities to go out there and make solutions to them. So don't think that, okay, if I hop on semen retention, I'll get all the benefits they're talking about and then I'll be able to do that. No, again, it's step one. Get on semen retention, be able to harness and cultivate the energy, and you're going to need to use those practices to be able to keep harnessing and cultivating that energy for a long-term period of time. And then you plug in those practices as well to transmute that energy towards higher pursuits. And guess what? That's going to be putting you on the path, on the righteous path towards your ultimate destination in life, towards your ultimate potential in life. You're going to actually be tapping into your higher faculties. You're going to be tapping into your highest essence, your true nature. And that's where you really see, oh, okay, this is some shit right here. There's no reason why I would do it for this long, of almost 4 years, if there was no actual point to it. If there's no actual tangible benefits to it. If there's no actually tangible results that I see in my day-to-day life. I would not be doing it. I would not be on YouTube talking about it. I would not be making ebooks about it. I would not be coaching people about it. I would not be doing consultations with people about it. I would not be posting stuff on Patreon about it. There's a real reason why I'm doing this, and there's a real reason why people before me have done it, while other people right now are doing it, is because there's actual benefits and there's actual elements of this practice that you haven't experienced yet that truly make it so powerful that you can't even conceptualize until you get on the path and they start awakening for you. So let that sit in, because I'm not the type of guy that's gonna do something for no reason. I think very logically. I didn't think this is gonna be a real practice in the beginning. I was like, okay, let me try it. Let me give it a try. I saw after 90 days, oh man, this is something. Or after 100 days, 150 days, oh, it's something. Okay, after a year, it's really something. Okay, after 2 years, damn, it is some shit. 3 years, 4 years, you know what I mean? Like, if you don't actually put in the proper practices in place, you're gonna stop after 90 days. You're gonna stop after 100 days. You're gonna stop, even if you make a year, which is impressive enough if you don't believe in it, you're gonna stop. With those proper practices in place and the realization that this is just step one, by retaining your essence, by retaining your seed, by retaining your life force, you're not gonna get to the ultimate steps, the ultimate peak, the ultimate potential of this practice, but you're building up the base foundation to continue building upon, to actually keep stringing on the rungs of the ladder. You're climbing up the ladder when it comes to anything in life, and those rungs are the different practices that you put in place. Without that, the ladder is gonna end. The ladder ends at a certain point. You gotta put in those practices to add in another rung, add in another rung, add in another rung, and guess what? You keep going higher and higher and higher, and as you ascend higher and higher and higher, the benefits get stronger, stronger, and stronger, and you realize how powerful this practice truly is at its base essence, at its true essence. Like, that's one of the best ways I can conceptualize it for you. That ladder will end at a certain point if you don't keep putting on those practices, if you don't keep putting on those different elements to continue growing and evolving. Because at the end of the day, semen retention is just a tool, like I said before, to help speed up your evolution mentally, physically, and spiritually. Let me say that again. It is a tool to help speed up and streamline your evolution mentally, physically, and spiritually. That's what it really is at the end of the day, because your sexual energy is creative energy. Evolution is by creating a new and better life, or new and better product, or new and better quality of whatever it is. If it's your mind, if it's your body, it's your soul, it's just creating and evolving and adapting to a better version of it. And when you actually use your sexual energy for what it's meant to do, not only just to create kids, but it actually can be used towards creating a better life, be used to create a business, be used to create content, be used to create a better friend group, social group. It can be used in any aspect of life, because it'll give you the focus, it'll give you the clarity, it'll give you the energy, it'll give you the intuitive capabilities to actually make those happen. So plugging all that in together, wrapping things up, please don't fall into the trap that if I retain my seed solely by doing that, I will experience the true powers of this practice. It's not gonna happen, bro. It's not gonna work out for you. This is just step one. And it's okay if you're just on step one. Because if you realize you're on step one, you're gonna realize that there's other steps along the way. If you think that you've hit the pinnacle by just retaining your seed for 30 days, 40 days, 50 days, then you're not gonna think that there's any more room for growth. Then you're not gonna think that, okay, I should read this guy's book, this ebook. I should listen to the full guy. I should tap into the audio series. I should tap into the other stuff he's got to say, coaching, consultations, Patreon, all that stuff. Then you limit yourself. You limit your growth because you think that you're at the top, and then you're gonna plateau. And when in reality you're just on a little hill. You haven't even started up on the mountain yet. You think that you're at the peak, but your peak is a hill. The true peak is up on fucking Mount Everest. You got to keep climbing up that shit, but your perspective has been warped. So let's throw that all away and focus in on the true essence of this practice, which is first retaining your sexual energy, then transmuting it towards higher goals. That's at the end of the day what we're really aiming towards. So without further ado, man, if you do not conceptualize this, you're going to be boxing yourself into a little corner, and then you're going to come to my comment section or other people's comment section and be like, semen retention is a scam. This is a scam. That's a scam. It doesn't work. It's just placebo. When in reality, there's tons of other guys out there, including myself, that understand, nah, bro. If you put in the proper practice in place, if you have a true purpose or goal set in stone that you want to focus on, that you want to direct the sexual energy towards, then you'll see the true power to this practice. You dig what I'm saying? You picking up what I'm putting down? Come on now. It's been your boy out here in the field, in the flesh, dropping out that game so you guys can make these gains, and I'm out of here. Peace.